Hello. This is for Noel Rodriguez Alvarez. He unfortunately is believed to be deceased. There's just recently yesterday they were doing a search for him, and I was hoping to have an update that he was found. But unfortunately that's not the case yet. And we're hoping that I was hoping that they would at least find some evidence, but I guess they haven't found anything. So unfortunately, they're still going to have to do some searches, and I believe that they've gathered enough evidence. It seems that they know he's deceased, but they aren't quite sure where he is, but they know where he was because unless it was somebody else that the cadaver dogs picked up the scent from, but I believe wouldn't they know that it was Noel's scent? Because aren't the scent dogs, are they just there to detect the scent of a dead body, or are they there to detect Noel's scent if he died? I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. I just now thought of that. But, okay, so there's this article. I found a couple articles, and I'm going to go ahead and read them for you. This is from Fox 4. It's Everman, Texas, a search for possible remains of 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez on Saturday, which would have been April 22nd, was focused within a couple square miles surrounding the shed he lived in with 8 family members. So Noel, a little 6-year-old boy, can you imagine living in a shed with 8 family members, being only 6 years old, and we're hearing rumors that he was abused? So, and I don't even want to say it's a rumor, because allegedly one of the children said that, and I don't think a child would make something like that up. I really don't. Poor Noel. Though the all-day effort is leading investigators back to the drawing board. It's important to all of us that we find closure on this case, Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer said. So, no remains were found after digging up part of the backyard, but police believe remains were there at some point. Rodriguez Alvarez's mother reportedly gave relatives conflicting stories about what happened to him. Her brother told police she abused him. So, okay, so maybe I read that wrong. I could have swore it said one of the children said that, but here I'm reading that her brother, so that would have been his uncle, told police that she abused him. So, either way, why would a grown adult lie about something like that too? She reportedly worshipped the Santa Muerte, a patron saint who offers protection to the cartel, according to police. Has anybody ever heard of the Santa Muerte? Because I've heard of it, but I never knew what it was until this case. This is the Santa Muerte. So apparently it's supposed to offer protection to the cartel. So was she a part of the cartel? I wonder. Because why would you worship something that's said to give protection to the cartel unless you were in the cartel, you know? Look how creepy that thing is. I would not want something like that in my living room, like, to worship. It is kind of cool looking, though. I'm not going to lie. Well, just some of them are creepy looking. Like this one here. Ugh. It looks like it has a cigarette in its mouth. Some of them are kind of cool looking, like this one here. All right. I just didn't know what it was. I was curious if anybody else knew what that was because I'd never heard of it before until this case. I mean, I'd heard the word Santa Muerte, but I never knew what it was. All right, I'm getting off topic. An Amber Alert was issued in March after relatives reported not seeing, it says the boy, since November 2022. And I'm sorry, but I hate it when news articles say the boy or the girl. Just say their name. So after not seeing Noel since November of 2022, the Amber Alert was issued in March. We have charges of abandonment and endangering a child, which is a second-degree felony in Texas, and we have charges on both of them for that, Spencer said. So how are they going to find them if they're in India? And how do they know, like, how are they going to know if they leave India? Like, how would they know that? I mean, I'm sure things are completely different in India than they are in the United States. I've never been there. I would love to go there. I have a friend that went to India and she said it was amazing and the pictures are beautiful. But I don't see how somebody could flee to India from the United States and just be found. Like, India is a huge place. I believe doesn't India have like the biggest population, or besides China? I'm pretty sure it does. Pretty sure India is ginormous. And I don't see how they're gonna. I'm not trying to sound hopeless. I want them to find them. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I want these people to fry. They just abandoned Noel and likely caused his death and then didn't report it. So, yeah, these people need to fry, in my opinion, and they're just gone in a totally different country and nobody knows where they are. Like, yeah, we know they're in India. That doesn't narrow it down at all. So I don't see how they're going to find them, but I have faith in them that they will. Police said some sort of data led them to search an area near their home. So they had some sort of data that led them to search the area near that shed. Cell phone data is a possibility, but I guess they didn't say what it was. We've been searching through just about any data you can think of, but I can't get into the specifics on exactly what's led us into these areas just yet. I wonder why that is. And that's what Spencer said. So why is that they can't let us know what the data was? Especially considering, I mean, do they think maybe there was other people involved in this and they don't want them to be around and repeating information to, oh, what's her name? She's so irrelevant. Cindy Rodriguez Singh. Like, I can't even remember her name because I just remember her ugly face. We have charges of abandonment and endangering a child, which is a second-degree felony in Texas, they said. The chief police maintained they will not randomly search areas. So they're not just randomly searching. They're doing searches for a reason because of data that they've discovered that has led them to these areas. I can tell you that we've got data to support the locations that we're searching. That's about all I can say at the moment, he added. The area they searched Saturday was cleared in the evening. That takes a toll on everybody, Spencer said. Earlier this month, human remains detection canines alerted investigators to a shed on the property where Rodriguez Alvarez lived, as well as a large piece of carpet police recovered that Rodriguez Alvarez's stepfather tossed in a dumpster before fleeing the country, according to police. And again, that was from Fox 4. So the human remains detection canines, I think they just detect human remains. I don't think they would detect human remains of a specific person, but I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I was just curious. I'll have to Google it. But yeah, so there was that large piece of carpet that was recovered, that Rodriguez Alvarez's stepfather, Noel's stepfather, tossed in a dumpster before fleeing the country. So the human remains detection canines alerted on that, and some soil, some topsoil, which I believe was under the patio, or whatever, that thing that Cindy, Noel's mother, built and she supposedly paid for. So I guess they tore it up and dug it up, and they didn't find anything, but the dogs alerted on the soil. So did they move him? Was he once under there, like way back in October maybe, and then they moved him, and then he was reported missing in March? I don't know. Everman authorities resumed their ground search this weekend in hopes of finding evidence that may lead them to Noel. Noel has been missing since October 2022, which is the last time officials said they could confirm someone had seen the boy alive. Earlier this month, investigators said they believed he was deceased after finding no evidence to support the claims or rumors that the 6-year-old boy, Noel, is either living with family members abroad or had been sold to a woman outside of a local grocery store. So Cindy says that she sold him to, what was the name of the store? I forget. She said she sold him out front of a store, out front of some local grocery mart. And don't you think there would be cameras and they would be able to figure that one out pretty quick? I mean, if she did sell him, it wasn't outside of that store. The search Saturday stretched more than 200 acres, including 2 large areas beginning along Shelby Road. Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer said there were also 2 smaller spots being handled by a small team of investigators. Spencer said in total, the search Saturday included about 50 people, including Texar, and Texar is Texas Search and Rescue. The volunteer-based organization is comprised of experts trained in search and rescue. For the last week and a half, our investigative team has been focused on the analytics and data that we have been able to collect through various search warrants and things, for the purpose of being able to establish purposeful search areas, Spencer said. So they've been focusing on probably like cell phone data. I don't know if they had a computer or if other people did that they're looking into, but they've collected some kind of data, and they're using that to have purposeful searches. So they're like having targeted searches from stuff that they're finding in this data. Gosh, I want to know what the data is so bad. Spencer said the case of Noel has included between 30 and 40 investigators so far. Everybody from detectives, investigators, state officials, to federal partners. We've had trafficking experts on the case. I couldn't ask for a better team. I'm glad they have trafficking experts on the case just in case, because it does happen, and especially in Texas. I hate to say it. I'm sure Texas is a great place, but I hear of a lot of trafficking going on there. Probably because it's a border state, I would imagine. The search areas we're conducting today, there's data to support those search areas. That was for yesterday. One of the things we want to avoid was just a broad, wide spectrum, random search. We can't afford with this case to miss anything. That makes sense. They want it to be spot on. And that's comforting. It's been hard not having anger or confusion regarding this case. I cannot seem to understand why this would happen to anyone. Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer. Officials said the boy's mother and stepfather are believed to have traveled to India with their 6 other children after police started looking into the boy's disappearance in March. The FBI is working with international partners to locate and extradite Cindy and Arshdeep Singh, who are currently charged with felony child abandonment and endangerment in the missing boys case, in Noel's case. It's been hard not having anger or confusion regarding the case. I cannot seem to understand why this would happen to a child. All the rumors and all of the things that have floated around this case, it doesn't matter if Cindy sold him or if he's dead. It never should have come to any of this at all. Yeah. Wow. Max Pascoe lives on Shelby Road and said police stopped by his home on Friday to explain authorities would be searching in the area nearby on Saturday. I guess it stuns a lot of people that it's so close to where you live, but a lot of bad things happen everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're from or where you live, Pascoe said. I'd like to say I'm shocked, but there's a lot of bad things that happen in this world. At the search Saturday, Spencer thanked the law enforcement officials who have been part of the case and the community. I can't drive around the community right now without someone in the community stopping me, asking how the case is going. Have we had any luck in finding Noel? He said. Last week, oh, I just lost my spot. Last week, cadaver dogs assisting investigators at the child's home on Wisteria Drive alerted to a discarded rug and topsoil underneath a recently poured porch, indicating human remains had been present at some time in the past. However, no physical evidence was found that could be tested and identified. All right. Wow. Yeah, so let's just keep praying. We need justice for Noel. We need to find Noel and get justice for Noel. Yeah, let's find these monsters right here. Child abandonment and endangerment charges. Felony, mind you. There's a big difference. Aw, look at this one. That is so cute. I've never seen that one. There's the porch they dug up. Wow. It just really puts it into perspective for you, like, how real it is. Like, I mean, obviously it's real, but just seeing pictures of them doing searches just, it just gets to me. They volunteer their time, their money, their efforts. It's all on a volunteer basis. They're professionally trained, some of the best of the best. Wow, that's great. If only we could get these best of the best on everybody's case. This says here the highlighted boxes show the targeted areas in Everman where search teams will look for Noel. And that was from April 10th. It's really hard to read. Wow. It just talks about how they broke apart the porch with a sledgehammer and everything. Wow. I was looking for this picture right here. How cute is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, makes me want to cry. I just can't imagine. I mean, I have a little boy that's like, my little boy's big. And he's like not that much bigger than my 2-year-old. And it's just sad. All right. We love you, Noel. We'll find you, buddy. They'll find you. You got the best of the best looking for you. All right. Thank goodness. I'm sorry. I always say I'm never going to cry on camera, and then I do. And it's not the first time I have. I can't help it. Sometimes it just really, I've never seen that picture before. All right. Oaklee Snow. Let's get into Oaklee Snow. Okay, this is it says update. The body of missing toddler Oaklee Snow may have been found according to local media outlets after Indianapolis investigators say the remains of a child were discovered in Morgan County about 27 miles south of Indianapolis. Man, I am so emotional today. As of Friday evening, their remains have not been positively identified as those belonging to Snow. We can confirm IMPD detectives located the remains of a child in Morgan County, Indiana, said Lieutenant Shane Foley with the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department in a message to Indy Star. IMPD is the lead investigating agency. Foley said what led detectives to find the child's remains are not being released at this time. Gosh, it's like when you start thinking about how sad it is, you can't stop. The Indiana State Police, the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, and the Morgan County Coroner's Office are assisting with the death investigation, Foley stated. The Morgan County Coroner's Office will be responsible for identifying the deceased. Excuse me. Once the deceased is identified, the Morgan County Coroner's Office will notify IMPD we can confirm IMPD detectives located the remains of a child in Morgan County, Indiana. The Indiana State Police, the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, and the Morgan County Coroner's Office are assisting with the death investigation, Foley stated. The Morgan County Coroner's Office will be responsible for identifying the deceased. Once the deceased is identified, the Morgan County Coroner's Office will notify IMPD, and IMPD will release the identification of the deceased. Oaklee Snow, 2 years old, she was only 2 years old, was last seen at a house south of downtown Indianapolis after being taken by her mother, Madison Marshall, in January. Oaklee has blonde hair, blue eyes, and weighs about 35 pounds. Her mother has been arrested, but Oaklee remains missing. Anyone with information is asked to contact the IMPD Missing Persons Unit at 317-327-6160 or call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-8477 or TIPS. That was from the Indy Star. Okay, and then this one says Oaklee was last seen being carried from a drug house in the Circle City. She was wrapped in a blanket and did not seem to be moving. Apparently, she and her younger brother were both taken from their father's home in Oklahoma by their mother and their mother's boyfriend, Madison Marshall and Roan Waters. While it seems Oaklee was moved from the drug house, her 7-month-old brother was not. He was later found alive at the residence by Waters' family members. When Waters' family members asked why the boy had been left behind, Waters said that Oaklee had fallen and gotten hurt, so the couple left the infant to take the toddler to the emergency room. That being said, it is likely that Waters abused Oaklee in the past. Waters was eventually arrested in Colorado. Marshall was arrested in North Carolina and is currently sitting in jail in Marion County. Indy Metro Police recently found a child's body in Morgan County. It is not clear yet if that discovery has any connection with this case, but more information should be released in the near future. So, of course, I'm hoping that they found Oaklee. I'm hoping they did, because she finally deserves to be found at least and have a proper resting place. Obviously. I mean, that goes without saying. Oh, she's just so pretty. She reminds me of Serenity McKinney in this picture. Right here. That second picture, she looks like Serenity a little bit. And then in this picture, she reminds me of Evelyn Boswell. Gosh, I'm going to start crying again if I think about it too much. I don't know what my deal is today. I'm just so emotional. I never saw that picture of Noel before, and that just really got to me. Where he was laughing and everything, like, ugh. Why can't all kids just be happy like that all the time? Like, they're a kid, they're supposed to be happy all the time. That's how they're supposed to look. All right. I'm so sorry. I never thought I would get this emotional while I'm recording. All right. I also wanted to go over something for Summer Wells. Okay. Trev Time posted this. And I'm sure all of you have heard of Trev Time. He's done a lot in the Summer Wells case and the Summer Wells community for Summer herself. He's done a lot, and he's very young and wise. And I follow him on here. Every time he has a live, I try to be there for everything and view all of his community posts, because he's a really smart guy and he has a good head on his shoulders, and he cares a lot about Summer. This post, he posted this a couple hours ago. It says, "Let's not forget how dangerous of a person Candace can be. We do a disservice to justice if we refuse to look at the facts. And the facts are, Candace can be a very dangerous person, and she was the last person to see Summer." All right, so it says, disorderly conduct and domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, intentionally point firearm at person, which dismiss on prosecutor motion. So intentionally point a firearm, resist or obstruct an officer, dismiss. But what, like, that's, she still obviously did that. So what did she plead to that got it dismissed, I wonder? Like, I know how court works. I've been in trouble before. I've never thought I would say that on here, but I do have a past, and that was a long time ago, and I've obviously changed a lot and turned my life around, but nothing like this. Well, the paraphernalia, yeah, but I'm just saying, I know that you can have charges dropped even if you are guilty as sin. You did it. You obviously did it, and they know you did, whether they have you on camera even doing it. That doesn't mean that they can't dismiss it if you plead to something else. Like, say you plead guilty to the battery and you take that charge, they might dismiss all the other stuff because that was the worst one. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just wanted to share that as a reminder. Um, these are things Candace has done. She's not the innocent, precious woman that some people try to make her out to be. And I just wanted to serve a little reminder to some people there that might need it. I also wanted to go to, now I haven't been to the TBI newsroom in a while, so I figured let's go to the TBI newsroom. I'm sure there's no updates, or I would have heard about it by now. Nope. It still says updated November 15th, 2022. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of Summer Wells remains active and ongoing. In order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, we cannot discuss specifics. Unfortunately, we have no new updates to provide publicly. Should we develop new information that could help in locating Summer, we will notify the public. Now listen. My scrolly thing never shows up on the side. And then it won't let me scroll down. Sorry. So it says the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of Summer remains active and ongoing. That one sentence says so much to me. It says the investigation into how Summer actually disappeared is active and ongoing. So the way the parents are saying that she disappeared is not what they think is actually the case, obviously, or they wouldn't still be investigating it. You know what I'm saying? And they probably can't discuss specifics because they themselves might not specifically know what the specifics are, because maybe they don't want the people that are suspects to know what they're doing. I mean, obviously that's one of the main reasons why they can't discuss specifics. They don't want the suspects knowing what they're doing, and maybe they don't know exactly what the specifics are yet. Unfortunately, there's no new updates in Summer Wells' case, but I still believe that there will be soon. I think we're going to wake up one of these days and we're going to see that Summer Wells is found, and there's going to be a lot of tears and a lot of emotions, and we're not going to know what happened even yet for a while after that. So it's going to take a lot of patience, but we've got to stick with it until she's found and gets her justice. I've never seen anything like this. I used to just like hang out on Reddit and read about true crime on there because I was interested in like John Benet Ramsey, Kaylee Anthony, Kamari Holland when that happened. I was interested in a lot of different cases that are, like Lori Daybell, Lori Vallow Daybell, whatever you want to call her. I call her Lori Daybell because I don't think she deserves to be called Lori Vallow because that man was probably too good for her. But yeah, I used to sit on Reddit and just read about cases and read what people said. And then Summer Wells brought me to YouTube. And I was like, wow, this is a whole nother world. Like the Summer Wells case in general is just a whole nother world. And honestly, it blows my mind how little her parents seem to care about her. Don's love for Summer has always felt disingenuous to me. His love for Summer does not feel real to me. It feels like he's just saying what he thinks a dad is supposed to say about their daughter, and he acts like Summer was his first daughter. Like I finally had a daughter, and I've never had anybody love me like she did. Like, Oh, it's his baby girl. But what about his first daughter? Wasn't she his prize and his baby girl like that too? He never mentions anything about her. He always just, oh yeah, nope, Summer was my everything. She was the one. Really, was she? Or is it because something happened to Summer that you got to make it seem like she was so special to you? I just wonder. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no updates on Summer. I just wanted to check. Haven't checked in a while. Figured it would get us talking about her for a minute, if nothing else. I always type Summer Wells into Google and go to images just to see if there's any new images, which there usually never is. But I like to look anyways. There's Summer with Robin. You know, one thing I will never understand about Robin is she seems like such a great person. Like, she's so into church and her religion and just trying to be a nice person and follow the Bible and be a good mom. And she seemed to be really good with Summer. Summer seemed to really love her. She always held her. She didn't even put her down when it seemed like she was probably getting really tired. And it's probably hard to stand up there and sing while holding a child for so long. But she did it because she loved Summer. But the only thing I don't get about Robin is, well, there's a couple things, but first of all, why did she cross out that red truck? Like, obviously, nobody told her the red truck was found because it wasn't found. So, why would somebody tell her it was if it wasn't? Cops didn't tell her that. So, I wonder, did somebody actually tell her that and she was gullible and believed it, so she crossed out the red truck? Or did she just make that up because she didn't want people on her ass about her red truck that they got? I wonder about that because that's pretty sketchy and shady, if you ask me. And I was really surprised that Robin would do something like that. That's something I've always wondered about. Um, Sorry, I'm still like all from crying. But yeah, and also I will never understand why, like how when she did the interview before the interview was supposed to come out, where she's talking to Chris McDonough at the church and it's just her and Chris talking for like 45 minutes or something. Um Before that interview came out, she like made a little video on her Facebook or something, and it was her saying, I don't know what I said on that video, so forgive me if I said anything bad. I'm not sure what I said, it was a while ago. um so did she say some bad stuff, or was she thinking bad things that she didn't know if she said or not? Maybe. That tells me that Robin does not think the Wells are as good of people as she tries to pretend like they are. She tries to pretend like Don is this good dad, good church going guy. Oh yeah, they didn't really watch Summer when she was in church, but it was fine because we had all the church family and they loved to see her and they knew that, so it was all right. No, watch your kids. I mean, come on. I know you're nice, Robin, but it's stuff like that. Like, you should have called him out and been like, yeah, they didn't watch her. She ran around the church all the time. Um, you know what I mean? Enough about Robin. I'm not trying to attack her at all. She just popped up on here on the pictures and it made me think about how I'm so confused about Robin. I never know what to think of her, but I want to just love her because Summer loved her, it seemed. So that makes me want to like her because Summer did. But I don't know. Not everybody's perfect. I know I'm not. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things that they're not proud of. Maybe she's not proud of that. Taking the red truck out of the flyers and speaking so highly of the Wells when they could have likely murdered their daughter or abused her or neglected her to the point where she just disappeared. Highly likely, probable, in my opinion. And That's why I could never give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, if I have to end up turning around and apologizing later, I think that would be something that obviously I would do if they turn out to be completely innocent of everything. But I really don't see that happening. I'm just trying to stick with the facts, be objective, but it's hard not to speculate when it's been so long and they've given us so little to work with besides negative shit. They give us them arguing, them only sticking up for themselves, them not talking about Summer, them not wanting to answer questions about Summer, a cracked up timeline that makes no sense. What have they really given us to work with to find Summer? Nothing really that I can see. All right. That was really all I had. I'm going to go because I don't really have anything else to talk about at the moment. I really just wanted to get the updates out about Noel and Oaklee for anyone that might not have known. And they still need to be talked about because they have yet to get justice. They don't have their justice and they have yet to be found. They need to be found and then get their justice. So we need to keep talking about them so that there remains public interest. People are always looking at the police and looking at officials to do the job and do it completely and do it all the way because we're counting on them to find these children and we're rooting for them to find these children, and that's what we want. But we got to keep pressure publicly on the cases so that people see that and these children are not forgotten or swept under the rug or anything like that. Not that I think the police would do that, but it has happened and it does happen. People just forget about kids that are missing because they get taken out of the spotlight. You can't remember everybody's face and name. So at least pick a few that you're passionate about and share their faces and names. That's all we really can do. It's impossible to cover every single one, but I wish we could. All right. I think everything I'm saying pretty much goes without saying. This picture, though, that made me cry. Just because he looks so happy, and that's how a child should be. And I just think about my son that's like that size, and it's like, man, I wish Noel could be like him and be happy all the time and run around and do whatever you want. Just eat snacks all day if you want to. Drink juice and chocolate milk all day if you want to. I wouldn't even care. Gosh, it just makes me want to spoil my kids that much more. All right, I'm going to get off here before I turn into a crying mess again. Thanks for being here with me. I appreciate you guys. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. All right, take care.